Friday with Fustini's, June 5th. Welcome, thanks for joining us. The overall theme this week is green, and specifically as it relates to food, green, fresh asparagus. So I actually am going to do a demonstration of an asparagus and leek frittata. And then Denise down in Holland's got a couple asparagus items to show you as well. One of the things I did want to show you that's green in terms of packaging is that we made a change, and now when you order for shipment, you're gonna get a corrugated inner package like this that is very easy to for us, it's very easy to assemble when you do it a lot. It's very safe. We've been shipping it now for a couple of 2 or 3 weeks. And it's easy to recycle, just like any other cardboard materials you have at home. So we're excited about that. Before we go to Denise, I'm going to show you the mise en place for the items that we're going to put in the frittata. We've got the asparagus, we've got the leek cut up with shiitake mushrooms. It's going to be seasoned with salt and pepper. Here's the eggs, fontina cheese, and grated Parmesan. So while you're with Denise, I'm going to start sauteing this and getting it ready, and we'll come back here when she's done. So Denise, I pass it on to you.
Thanks, Jim. So I also have a pan here with some Tuscan herb olive oil in it. And what I'm going to add to that is some crushed up garlic, as well as some mushrooms. And we're just going to get those to lightly saute. While they are going, I am going to prepare the rest of the dish. And what actually this is, it's a beef wrapped asparagus. And so I know my husband's watching, so yes, honey, there is beef for dinner. So I've got my mushrooms and my garlic going, and then when those are done, I'm going to deglaze with this Worcestershire sauce when that's ready. Meanwhile, so here is my beef that I've pounded thin, and I'm going to season it with some salt and pepper. And then I'm going to take some cheese, some goat cheese that I've allowed to soften. Spread that out a little bit more. So softened goat cheese. Spread that on there. And then to that, I'm going to add some of my asparagus. Now, I went ahead, since there's so many recipes we're doing with asparagus, I went ahead and peeled them all, but I did save a couple. So if you weren't with us a couple weeks ago, I will show you how to do that. Just an easy, just take your vegetable peeler and just take all of the tough, stringy skin off of it. Here's one more for you. And what that does is it reveals the soft inner part of the asparagus, so you don't have to kind of get through that toughness first, and it cooks much faster. And let me toss these around a little bit. So I'm just lightly sauteing my mushrooms and my garlic in here. All right, so my meat has my asparagus, my cheese, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some red pepper. And we all know to take the pith out of your red pepper. So you tap into the juices of that pepper. And then what I'm going to do is just cut some strips. So now I've got my meat, my cheese. I'm going to put a couple strips on there. And then I've got some fresh thyme. I'm going to add as well. Take that off the stems. And then we're just going to take it and roll. And by pounding it thin, it's not going to take so long to cook. And then your asparagus in there, it's going to cook up real quick as well. So once you have that, I'm going to put a little more of our olive oil in this bowl. Now, granted, if you were making this for dinner, you'd obviously make more, but I'll make more later. So basically, we're just going to coat our little asparagus roll in some of this Tuscan herb olive oil, just fully coating that. And then, this is almost done. Sorry, get that done. So for the mushrooms, I'm just gonna deglaze with our Worcestershire sauce. Oh, does that smell good? So now that it's like that, I am going to remove that from the heat. And that is actually going to be something that goes on top of this roll when it's done. So just wait a couple seconds. I want to heat up that pan. So it wasn't quite as hot as we'd like, but it'll get there. So while that is cooking, I have another really quick and easy asparagus recipe that I found. It was a way I'd never knew to make asparagus. So let me grab my stuff here. So this is actually called a mustard and mayonnaise glazed asparagus. And I was quite shocked that this was a delicious new way to make asparagus, because before all this, it was mostly just, either you grill it or you saute it or you roast it, and there wasn't a whole lot of stuff to it. So we've got a little bit of mayo, and I'm only going to make a portion of the recipe because I'll make more later. And then we're going to take some of our whole grain mustard. And then we're going to take some, I did up some more garlic, add a little bit more of that. And then this is something I really, really like. It is our ironfish honey vinegar. So it actually uses honey from Michigan. One of our new products. I'm just going to turn, not quite yet. So we're just going to stir that all up. And I think this calls for the single varietal. So this is our Arbequina single varietal olive oil. Look how green that is. I just can't believe how green these still are from last fall. And I think we put in the e-news that one actually won a gold medal in the New York olive oil competition. Now it called for lemon zest, and I was standing in the grocery store thinking, oh, I know I have a lemon. And so I put it back, only to realize it was a lime I had. So we're going to just stir this. I think we need a little more olive oil. So why you want it in a small, like a shallow pan like this, is because we're going to take these and just coat them. coat all sides. And it says to use thick asparagus, which was really good. I found these down at the Holland Farmers Market on Wednesday. So that it makes it really easy to peel. And we're just gonna coat them all. And then ideally it would be great to grill them. However, today I'm just going to saute them. But let's first check our meat. So one thing we learned from Chef Andy is the meat will tell you when it's time to turn. When it loosens from the pan, that tells you that that side is done. So that's why I knew before it wasn't ready, but it told me this time that it was ready to turn. So I'm just going to continue turning these each time. And then when that's done, I will show you. And then on my stove, I'm going to stick these on to saute. And we'll get those going to show you when they're done. So make sure as you're watching, just to give a shout out to let us know you're watching. And then I just thought it would be fun, since we're showing 4 different recipes, if maybe after all these, we would love to hear which recipe you would want to make first, because asparagus is everywhere. So lots of ideas. So I don't know where you're at, Jim. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Denise. And if this is a contest, I'm going to ask everybody to vote for the frittata. No, just kidding. So we've got here we've had on the stovetop the asparagus, shiitake mushrooms, and leek sauteing for, it's probably been a total of about 10 minutes until the asparagus gets tender, which it is just about there. And then I put about half of the fontina cheese into the 8 whisked eggs. I'm going to season this real quick, a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then we're going to add this into the asparagus and leek and mushrooms. And just kind of mix that all together. And we're going to let it set for a couple minutes until it sets, and then it will go into the oven to broil. And then we'll add some finishing cheeses on the top. One of the things I don't know if Denise mentioned, but I will, my guess is she has, is Chef Andy's favorite, one of his many, many favorite little suggestions that I picked up is skinning the asparagus. So we've done that. That makes the bite a little bit cleaner when you've skinned the stem of the asparagus, and it's worth the time to do that. So we'll let this set up. We use the arbequina oil to saute with. I may have possibly used a little bit of our leek infused oil. Can't help myself. So we'll let this set up. I'm going to put it in the oven with the broiler, hit it while Denise is finishing up with her third asparagus recipe. So Denise, back to you in Holland.
Thanks, Jim. So before I start my last recipe, I did notice that my steak is done. So let me grab that off my stove a second. And here is what it looks like. So the cheese gets all gooey. And then we just top it with some of these mushrooms, which is a very spring thing, because I think you find mushrooms and asparagus all over the place this time of year. And then I'm just going to garnish it with a little more thyme. So that is that recipe. And see how quick it is? I really like how when you pound it thin, it cooks quickly, and then the asparagus, because we peeled it, it's going to soften quickly, and so it goes real fast. Alrighty, let me just toss these one more time. These are almost done, actually. Basically, we just want to brown them a little bit. So let me turn this down. And those will continue cooking. All right, so my last recipe, I feel like we're just on a roll today because we're doing the beef roll, and now my last recipe is a prosciutto asparagus roll. So let me grab the rest of my goodies. I needed a little bit of flour. And then I'm going to cut, this is just a pastry sheet. I'm going to cut in half and just do up a couple of them. Alrighty. So we just lightly floured it. And we're going to roll it to about half the size that it was. Or I guess half the depth that it was, I guess. Or double, roll it out double. There, how's that? All right. And we're going to cut it in half. And then on each half, we are going to put a couple slices of prosciutto. And of course, prosciutto just comes apart so easily. That was sarcastic. So we're going to just take and peel this prosciutto. And about 2 slices on each is what we need. Come on. I was looking for the one that has that little sheet of plastic between them. That usually makes it easier to pull them apart. So as I'm struggling here, hey, I give a shout out to, I know there's 2 Jans that watch, Jan Scott and Jan Terpstra. So hello to you ladies. All right, let me turn that off. Where's my towel? Alrighty, so on top of your prosciutto, we are going to, so here is my asparagus. I'm going to toss it with a little bit of Tuscan herb olive oil, just to coat them lightly. And then we're going to place those right on the prosciutto, like that. And then I'm going to take some grated Gruyere. Oh, I don't know how to say it. It's the one from, my daughter's laughing at me right now. It's the one from Sweden, or not Sweden, Switzerland. But it's not Swiss cheese. I guess it kind of is, but anyway, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm sure any other kind of cheese would work great as well. Now the recipe doesn't call for this, but I love our organic Tuscan. I feel like I put that on everything just to give it a little extra oomph. So I'm just going to put some of that in there. And then we're going to take each side and just fold them over like so. And like so. And we're going to put them on parchment paper. And then I've got some egg here just to give it an egg wash. On that one. And that one. So I take it you guys are liking the Fridays with Fustinis, and hopefully if you haven't been able to catch us live, we do have them all on our YouTube channel. So you can look back over those. And at this point, we still tend to continue doing them. So let us know if you have any ideas of what you would like to see. We've got some ideas, but hey, we're always looking for what you guys would like to see. So I have these like this, ready to go. A little salt and pepper on top. And then you stick them in the oven for about 12, 15 minutes at 425. And then, by the magic of television, because I knew I wouldn't have time, this is what they look like. And then we had, at the market, also had microgreens, which I love. So I just put some of those microgreens on top. So I think that is all I have. Yeah, be sure to vote or just mention what your favorite one is. That would be fun. Thanks. And now back to you, Jim.
All right, Denise, that looked awesome and the timing's perfect. We got our Fustini frittata coming out of the oven. It's been under the broiler for about 3.5 minutes. It's nice and you can see it's browned up. The cheeses have all melted. So we are anxious here at my place to give this a try. We will we'll take a photo and the photo will be attached to the recipe when you go online to download the recipe. So this was a lot of fun. This was my maiden voyage in doing a cooking demonstration, and I had fun doing it. It was fun. Couple wrap-up comments. We're going to have all, I believe it's 3 of the items that were shown today, the arbequina, the ironfish vinegar, and one of the other products that Denise showed. We're going to have those available online. Go to shop, new items, and you'll see a bundle of, I believe it's these 3 or 4 items that were used at 15% off. That'll be available through Friday, next Friday when we're going to do this again. It's great. We now have all of our Fustini tasting room stores open. It's great to see many of you so far. We've got specific information for you on the website on exactly what we've done to make things safe and secure for you, and of course our staff that's hosting you. And we feel very confident that we've got a safe and secure, excuse me, shopping environment for you. So come visit us when you get a chance. I believe that's it for today. Our focus was green asparagus, green packaging, green fresh olive oil from Spain. So thanks again. Have a great weekend and hope to see you next Friday.